I want to take you back to those first few weeks of your sales career. Remember those days? Probably after orientation, one of the first things you did was you went to find out who was the top sales producer in that company. And you asked yourself, how do they get to where they are? Is it because they've been doing this for so long that they just have a network of people clamoring to buy from them? Or is it because they were born with some sort of natural ability that makes the sales game just a little bit easier? I remember that's what I thought. I've been fortunate enough to this point in my career to have worked with and coached some of the top sales producers in multi-billion-dollar organizations. And I've been on a mission to find out what's the gene, what is the common thread that brings all these individuals together. And by proxy, I thought I was one of those people early in my career. And in fact, people would tell me all the time, Tony, you're going to be great at sales. You got the gift of gab. You can walk into a room of strangers and make friends with anybody. And you know what? I believed them. So right out of college, I get a sales job, and I'm shocked to find out that at 6 months, that drawn commission, it runs out. And after 9 months, you're out of family members to sell, and it only took 12 months for me to be mercy fired and flat broke. I'm going, wait a minute, what just happened? In that moment, it forced me into a corner to evaluate everything I thought I knew about selling. And you know what I found out? That I was right. I had every attribute that I'd ever seen in a great salesperson, just none of the skill sets. My name's Tony Leone. I'm the CEO of Whole Brain Selling, a sales training organization for over 40 years. And our clients come to us for three main reasons: to improve the people that they're walking through the door to ensure they sell more, improve the process that they can repeat, and then grow organically. So I began to ask myself, well, what is it about these great salespeople that make them so different? Because at the core, that's what they were always doing, being so different from anyone else walking into the same prospect. And I uncovered a lot of things, but one thing kept coming back over and over again. If there's one thing that I want you to walk away with and do immediately, is become a scientist. So for the past 10 years, I've been bringing a very scientific process to the sales strategy that most of my clients look for these days. So when they come to us, they're really looking for differentiation via the process in their people. The great ones I analyzed knew exactly what their numbers were and what activities they needed to do to change the percentage of their closing average. They knew it to a T every month. They understand the science behind human behavior. What certain stimuli do I need to input into my prospect to uncover the emotional reason for making a change? They understood how the brain worked, that the way you ask a question elicits a certain response. The conversation always goes back to 100 out of 100 times is the people. And we talk about how do we improve the people that you have in the seats now? And if we were to get more, how do we ensure that they are the right people for what you want them to achieve? And can they sell and do their values align with your company? We start there before we begin anything, and that is the groundwork for immense organic growth. I'll give you an example. The American Management Association did a study. It said that 73% of all decision makers hate sales conversations that start with small talk. And Harvard Business Review says that we are categorizing each other in 150 milliseconds. To give you an idea how much that is, the blink of an eye is 300. So I want to paint this picture for you. You're walking into a decision maker. Chances are they hate small talk. And they're going to make a determination about you in 150 milliseconds. What is the first thing you're going to say? I'll tell you what the great ones do. They focus on that moment hours and hours before the first conversation with a client. Through that first 30 minutes is where their entire focus is. What is the outcome of that moment? The great ones that I found were focused on a different outcome at different times than everybody else.
Tony knows sales. When you're listening to him talk, an hour seems like 15 minutes. You're just engrossed in what he's saying, and you know that you could bring back everything he's told you back to the team.
Tony has sales down, and that authentic way of selling inspired me and makes me want to be a better salesperson.
Tony got me thinking back to my first days in sales and made me realize I wasn't thinking clearly enough about how to really connect with my prospects.
Tony was so fantastic. Sales strategies, smart, insightful, different, absolutely a game changer for sales and sales professionals.
Clients will always ask, well, what kind of outcomes can I expect by having you in here? And the easy answer is, well, I'm going to improve your closing average and you're going to make more money. But the real answer is, I tell them, this will be the last sales process you ever adopt. If you do what I'm telling you to do, and if you follow what I know has worked for some of the companies that I've worked with that do almost $2 billion in new business every year, this will be the final stop you make on the journey to finding what is the sales process that works for you. The best advice I was ever given by the best salesman I ever knew, and it happened to be my own dad. He said, Tony, you know, when you get to the top, no one asks you who helped you get there. But anyone you ask at the top will never say they did it alone. My friends, we don't have enough vulnerability in this business. And I know this to be true because I help build the benchmarks that put you in these seats. I help my clients hire people that are motivated, want to make more money, commanding of their own life. They're self-starters. And we need that. That's what's earned you the right in the seat. But I need you to learn 4 magic words. I need your help. I want you to ask, actually, I want you to demand success from the person that hired you. So if you can leave here understanding a high self-awareness of your attributes, the skills that need to be compounded to enhance what makes you so great in the seat already, focus on different outcomes at different times, and ask for a little bit of help along the way, I have no doubt I will see you at the top.